Bruntz, let me ask you about defensive coordinators. I just get the sense, and I tell you, this isn't a setup. I would just tell you, text you or whatever. I don't have any pre-existing knowledge, but he appears just his delivery yesterday with on National Signing Day when we interviewed him on the network, and then his presser, which was right after. It feels urgent, right? It seems to be a sense of urgency, but I also think he's going to have a lot of guys that want this job. How quickly do you think he will or should he move? It sounds like he knows what he wants.
Mm-hmm.
That make it easier or harder when you have so many potential available suitors?
Yeah, I mean and if you listen to what he said, it's not necessarily scheme stuff that's going to be on film. Like it's going to be who can rally a group, who can get guys to play with their hair on fire for him, and that's a little bit of a different vetting process. I feel like than just like looking strictly at how a guy defends the run or how they approach certain things. So, and it's probably going to be somebody that's outside his circle as well. I mean, you're kind of the point now too, where a lot of the kind of like tight Rhule orbit guys have either worked for Nebraska or not options. So it's going to be an interesting hire. Timing wise, I don't think he's going to rush because this is absolutely a hire that you have to get correct. But at the same time, when you look at what's ahead over the next 6-7 weeks, you definitely want to have somebody in place by January 2nd when the portal period opens, because I think you want to be able to have somebody to paint that picture of, this is what the defense is going to be to guys you're trying to recruit out of the portal. Right now, you're also in some ways kind of re-recruiting your current roster as well. And I think that's something that you have to at least be mindful of is, there's young guys on that defense that I know that they feel really good about and what they can be, and as long as they get developed a little bit. And I think it helps for those guys to know, like, what is this place going to look like for me in 2026? And so I think that's a consideration as well. And I don't know. I mean, like, I think, you've got a pretty long runway here of bowl practices. It would probably be helpful for that coordinator coming in to be able to see what he's working with. You kind of get that preview, I guess, of seeing some of these young guys run around and play and what they can potentially be and how they fit a defense. So I don't think he's gonna be slapdash with it and just make a hire to make a hire. But I do think there are legitimate, timing things that you have to be aware of as you're making this. So he's not going to be rushed, but he's got to be somewhat quick with it, I think.